rather loud. Right, can you all hear me at the back? No! Let's begin. Right.
Hand on the chair.
Right. Well, here we are at last, the day that we've been waiting for ages. It's now my opportunity to say something. This is Amy and Paul's day. As some of you may know, I do a bit of performing on the stage. But I've been told not to take over today. To acknowledge this, I'll only have 2 costume changes and 3 songs. Now please don't worry, it's not going to go on. Barbara and Amy were very worried that I wouldn't know when to stop. So, to allay their fears, I let them see the first 45 minutes to make sure it's okay. Now unusually, this is an occasion when I get to speak rather than my wife. So Barbara, thank you for everything you've done to make this day special, and you look lovely, by the way. On her behalf, let me take this opportunity to thank you all for coming and making it a very memorable day for Amy and Paul. I should also add, thank you, Amy and Paul, on behalf of the Chancellor of the Exchequer, for helping to energise the economy. Never, in the field of human shopping, was so much owed by so many to so few. The cost of the ladies' outfits this afternoon must be astronomical, but I'm sure savings were made along the line. Can I also welcome Sue and Trevor here this afternoon? As Paul's parents, they've had a very important part to play in this day. And I know Trevor and I have worked long and hard to make sure the bar works seamlessly. On a more serious note, I'm now going to propose a first toast to absent friends. I know that nearly everyone that was on the guest list is here today, but sadly Amy's great aunt Mary died earlier this year, and our dear family friend Neville Legg, who was an integral part of the girls' growing years, also passed away last year. Neville would have been so proud of Amy today, so please raise your glasses to absent friends.
Absent friends.
Now I get an opportunity to talk about Amy. Firstly, I must say how stunning she looks today. And I must congratulate her for her meticulous planning that has made things work so well. Amy is a very special daughter. I've known her since she was a small girl. We have so many happy memories. She's always been a good girl. Well, we'll gloss over her running away from school that time. It didn't take long for the whole of the sixth form to find her after all. On one occasion, however, we had a very scary moment. We were in a huge B&Q near Herne Bay, and we managed to lose her. A frantic search began, panic set in, tears ensued, and after a desperate search throughout the store, she still managed to find us. Not really, she wandered off in the lighting section and we were actually terrified. Now I don't think I've ever seen her drunk, but I've heard a lot about it. And talking of being drunk, I should now thank her good friends for the part they played today as leading ladies, and during her teenage and adult life. I won't say your names because that would mean nothing to come first, and I don't want to start an argument. So please join me and raise your glasses to the leading ladies. Leading ladies. I suppose you always worry about your children, and a few years ago Amy had a serious car accident. Fortunately she had Paul there to help her through it all. But Amy was no stranger to serious accidents. As a child she had a couple, and I suppose we all get upset tummies occasionally. I seem to remember my white trousers were never quite the same. Now, when Amy told us she wanted to marry a drummer, we were very concerned. How could we tell her that Harry from McFly already had a Prior to that, she'd fancied Jensen Button for years, and we thought, here we go, yet another infatuation. Then she told us she was going out with a Mr. Bond, and we thought, here we go again. Now, sadly, Amy and Paul only have 2 grandparents between them. But when one of them is James Bond, that's got to make up for it. And to understand true to form, he's called again this afternoon. Now, it's obviously a love match. Paul is always a steady influence in the relationship. He's always cool and calm, and has to put up with Amy's list. Amy, on the other hand, has to put up with Paul's drum face. And there's children present. At this point, I should welcome Paul into the family. This has been very easy to do. And Paul, you no longer have to call me Sir anymore. Mr. Roberts will be fine. Despite the current economic climate, a bond is still a good investment. And I'm sure Amy will have a secure future with this premium bond. I should say that marriage is not plain sailing. There will be good times, there will be bad times, there will be happy times, there will be sad times, there will be times of great excitement and times of great disappointment. But Paul is perfectly placed to deal with this. After all, he's been a Liverpool fan for 20 years. Now, as most of you know, Paul is a mechanic like myself, and I've given him the benefit of my long experience. Women are like cars, I told him. They must be well maintained. They must have a good chassis and a reliable motor. Fortunately, nowadays you don't need a choke. Although occasionally you feel like you could do with one. Of course, you should keep an eye out for leaks and ensure the outer bodywork is kept up to scratch. They can fade as they get older, and they do benefit from a good touching up. But with a lick of paint, it's amazing what a difference it makes. And of course, there's a downside to all this. They can age as the joints wear. The suspension can sag a bit. But if you're lucky, she should keep going for many years. Above all, don't go looking for a new model. It'll cost you a fortune, you won't be able to keep up, and they're extremely high maintenance.